Hey team, great to be in front of you again this week. Hope things are going well for each and every one of you and your families are doing terrific. Father's Day is coming up next weekend, so we want to wish everyone a happy Father's Day for those that it applies to. But I'd like to talk again or maybe a little bit more about challenges and really about challenging ourselves. And that's like a daily, almost like a daily meditation for me. Like, how today can I do better than what I did yesterday? Because when we really look and examine ourselves each and every day, and we try to build on the prior day, that's really what helps us to grow as people. And so let's say that yesterday was kind of a crabby day for you. Anybody ever have a crabby day? Yes, that's for sure. But when you or I say to myself, how do I make today better? Like, what was it about yesterday that caused me to feel that way or to just kind of be that way? And then how can I challenge myself today to not let that crabbiness sneak into today so that it's a better day, not only for myself, but for everybody else? And finding ways of being able to self-talk is a really good way to put a plan in place to help out yourself out, shall I say. The other thing might be when it comes to how can we challenge ourselves as leaders? For those of you who are leaders, how can you challenge yourself and your team to continue to grow and to do better today? So I was just looking at staffing over the last 3 weeks and over some of our recruiting. We have a recruitment and retention metric that we've put together. And I've seen that we're not really getting a lot of nursing team members in, which is like critical for our facilities in order for us to be able to do everything that we need to do, in order for us to have good customer service and to have good morale and just to just build ourselves back up as a team, because we are in the post-pandemic period. I don't know if you realize that, but we are in the post-pandemic period. So we're still keeping COVID out. We're still working to be sure that we don't get COVID in the facility and managing that. But in this post-pandemic period, we need to now be rebuilding the organization and rebuilding truly our nursing staff. And so I, was thinking, like, what can we do to challenge ourselves in our buildings? Instead of being like, oh, we don't have any staff, we got to use agency, and being so reliant and dependent on agency staff, how can we then challenge ourselves? And, like somebody once said, how do you eat an elephant, one bite at a time? That's kind of how I look at particularly our certified nursing assistant shortage. How do we build our nursing staff? And it's like one person at a time. And so over the last 3 weeks or so, since we started this whole metric monitoring, I've seen that a couple of facilities have hired zero, no CNAs, no nurses at all. And I'm like, man, we are not going to get out of this if we don't hire. And so I want to challenge you as leaders, as team members, to think about, how can I hire 2 people this month? This week, not this month, though, that would take us forever to get there. This week, how can we challenge ourselves to hire 2 certified nursing assistants this week, or 1 nurse and 1 certified nurse this week? And when we can do that, then after a month, now we've got 8 new people in for this month. And we work on retention and we work on making sure we're giving them a good orientation and such. But if we're not even hiring people, then we're going to get absolutely nowhere. And I know this group, everybody in our company knows people. I know that you've worked with people, you've worked with some great people, you've worked with people that you'd love to continue to work with. Or you've got family members or friends who perhaps don't have a certification, but we're willing to train them. So maybe they would be great people to come into the organization to help us. There are people that are out there that can only work 4 or 6 hour shifts because they've got childcare needs and all the rest of that stuff. Those are shifts that we're offering our nursing department, our licensed nurses and our certified nursing assistants. So there's a lot of flexibility, there's a lot of opportunities, but we can't get out of this unless we start hiring. And so what can we do? I don't personally know what's happening in each facility, but what I do know is you can hire 2 people this week, and you can hire 2 people next week. Let's go ahead and challenge ourselves, and let's go ahead and make it a point of, I'm going to hire. I'm going to get people in. I'm going to get the agency out, because then when I have my own team members, we're able to do that great work that we are assigned to do. So that's just a thought. There's all sorts of ways you can challenge yourselves in your personal lives and with your family and with your kids and all that stuff. But look inside and ask yourself, am I doing the best that I can do in my job, for my residents, for the organization, and how can I challenge myself to go the next step? I guess I'll even talk about census. Like, census is stagnant. I mean, we were doing really, really well for a period of time, but we're just hovering at about 70% full. And that's not very workable for a long, long period of time. So, 85% is the current rule, basically, where we don't lose Medicaid reimbursement, because for every percentage point under 85%, Medicaid takes back money. So that's where we really have to shoot for that 85%, so that we do get our Medicaid monies in, so that we can pay the bills and all the rest of that stuff. So when we don't have the census and we're stagnant, then we're just not bringing in the funds that we need to be able to do the work that we need to do. So that would be another great area for challenges. So you figure if we can get the census up to 85%, that's our goal, 85% or more, certainly. I mean, Armada's at 100%, so they're like, go team Armada. But if we can get our census up to that 85% minimum mark, now we're able to get all of our monies in. Then if we can get people hired, and again, I'm asking just 2 a week in the nursing department, that will make a huge difference. That then reduces the agency bills, because we're paying a fortune to the agencies. So that then makes the organization stronger, and it makes everybody's life a whole lot easier. So 2 challenges this week: census and staffing, and they do go hand in hand. So we need both to be able to do what we need to do. So I encourage you to challenge yourself, examine, say, what can I do to influence these areas? And that will all be great. You guys are awesome. We're so impressed. We're getting so many positive stories coming out of the facilities, just families saying what a great job you've done for their family member, and we just say thank you for that, because you're making a difference in the lives of the people that you serve and that we serve. So God bless you all, my friends. Have a terrific week, and happy Father's Day to the dads. Bye, everybody.